In this video, I show you the key to being able to fingerpick any pattern you like on guitar. There are thousands of fingerpicking patterns out there. However, there are only 3 actual approaches to fingerpicking. By focusing on each of these approaches, you will gain the technique required to fingerpick any pattern you like. Hi, this is Simon Candy from Acoustic Guitar Lessons Online.net, and in this lesson, I show you the only 3 approaches that exist for fingerpicking guitar. Getting each fingerpicking approach down will give you access to thousands of fingerpicking patterns and in turn thousands of songs. So let's get into it. Okay, so the first approach to fingerpicking, this is really simple. There really are only 3 approaches. The first is single notes. What does that mean? Just pick notes in a singular fashion, one at a time out of your chords. That's what you're doing. That's one of the 3 things you'll be doing at any given point when fingerpicking. So if I've got a C chord, I simply, there's lots of patterns, but I'm simply playing one note after the other. No notes together or anything like that. Okay, so that's an example of a single note pattern. So yeah, there's lots of variations, but once you get the technique, nice fluent finger picking down, then you can finger pick any single note pattern that you like. So that is the first approach to finger picking guitar. Let me give you an example of a chord progression here that you can play around with to work on this particular approach to finger picking. Okay, so here's a little chord progression using single notes. Okay, so the next approach is notes together, okay? Plucking notes together. So it's as simple as it sounds, right? At any given point when you're finger picking, you may be doing one of 3 things: single notes or playing notes together. So if I've got my C chord, notes together is simply playing the notes together. Okay, so there's different combinations, right? I'm on a C chord here. I could use my thumb and the 3 fingers. Or I could use my thumb and 2 fingers, okay, if I wanted. That's notes together, the thumb and any 2 or 3 finger combination, okay? Now, when you do play notes together, depending on how much you've finger picked before, you might find you don't get an even sort of volume or attack across all 3 fingers in the thumb. That will come with practice, okay? So it may feel a little uneven, but you'll find with practice you'll be able to get a nice even volume with all the notes being played together. Okay, so be patient with that. But notes together. So, sometimes you'll separate the bass out. That's still a notes together pattern, right? We're picking on the higher part of the chord there, the harmony, and then playing the thumb, separating the thumb out in the bass. Okay, so that certainly will happen. I'll give you a little progression here, little blues with using some nice sort of jazz voicings here with a note together approach, okay? Something that you can work on that's, sounds pretty cool and will help train the note together fingerpicking approach. Okay, so that's just a simple pattern, thumb, notes together, thumb in the bass. That's the pattern throughout with a bit of a swing. It's a very common pattern, sort of note together pattern. So again, separating the bass but playing notes largely together there. Okay, and I'm using some nice sort of jazz voicings here. I've got a G7 that I'm playing on for the G7 when it comes up in the blues. I've got a dominant 9th shape for the C, as well as the D when it comes up. And it's as simple as that. So typically with that sort of approach, I might put a little bit of movement in the bass there too, typically. So I might do something like Okay, so you can sort of put some movement in the bass like that to it. It leaves it open to kind of do that when you're separating the thumb out, the bass out from the other parts of the chord. But that's a note together approach. So you're either playing notes in a singular fashion or you're playing notes together. That's the first two approaches to fingerpicking. Okay, so what is the third approach? If we can play notes together and notes in a singular fashion, what is left? Well, I guess this approach some might think is notes together as well, but I call it pinching. So pinching is where you use the thumb and one other finger. The thumb plus one other finger, any of the fingers. As soon as you bring in two or more of the fingers, I call that notes together, okay? Multiple notes together. Here we're pinching. So if I have my C chord again, I use my thumb and I could use my middle finger. That's pinching. Or maybe I use my thumb and my ring finger. Or perhaps I use my thumb and my index. They're all examples of pinching. Okay, pinching is very common in fingerpicking too. You'll do a lot of that. Think if you've ever played a song like Blackbird by the Beatles. You're doing a lot of pinching there, okay, on the 10th harmony shapes. So that is the third approach to fingerpicking guitar, pinching. So at any given point, when you're fingerpicking guitar, you're either playing notes in a singular fashion, you're plucking multiple notes together, or you're pinching notes. And of course, you can do all of them and often do integrate all those things together within a single bar sometimes. So, you know, there's not always going to just be the one exclusive way at any given point, although of course that can happen as well. Let me close out here by giving you an example of pinching and using 10th harmony, like you hear in Blackbird. That's a very cool sound that's used a lot in fingerpicking, and yeah, is very is very conducive to the pinching technique. Okay, so something like this. These are 10th harmony shapes, and I'm just going to play, you know, some open strings around it and give you an example of the pinching technique at play. If you like the fingerpicking ideas in this video, then check out the Ultimate Fingerpicking Guitar course, a complete system for fingerpicking acoustic guitar, so simple even a beginner can learn it. Whether you're just starting out or have fingerpicked before, this course lays out the steps for you one by one in the correct order along the way to mastering fingerpicking guitar. You are going to learn and master all the key concepts, methods, strategies and techniques needed for fingerpicking, avoiding the all too common mistakes most people make when learning to fingerpick guitar. With the Ultimate Fingerpicking Guitar course, you will have your hand held every step of the way, taking you from wherever you are right now with your fingerpicking to where you would love to be, enjoying every part of the process along the way. So click the link in the description below this video and check out the Ultimate Fingerpicking Guitar course. Let me know in the comments section what acoustic guitar topics you'd like to see covered in future videos. I read every comment and I would love to hear your suggestions. If you like this video, then hit that like button, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and hit the all-important notification bell button so YouTube can tell you when I've released a new video. This is Simon Candy from acousticguitarlessonsonline.net. As always, thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate your time and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.